Today, I have the pleasure of introducing José Andrés. He is the Special Advisor on Food Issues to Stephen Knapp, President of the George Washington University. José is an internationally recognized culinary innovator, passionate advocate for food and hunger issues, author, television personality, and owner and chef of Think Food Group. He is the founder of World Central Kitchen, an organization which aims to feed and empower vulnerable people in humanitarian crises around the world. José is also the culinary ambassador for the Global Alliance for Clean Cook Stoves and the chairman emeritus for DC Central Kitchen. Please join me in welcoming chef and professor José Andrés.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Buenos dias. So happy to be here. Really amazed by the leadership George Washington University is taking on bringing all these food issues forward. Very quickly, I mean, you all know it. We are 7 billion and counting. Near 1 billion people suffers food insecurity. We're trying to solve the problems, thinking about the big picture, but sometimes maybe we need to start understanding and thinking that we need to be giving more attention to the small picture. Because if we solve the problems at the source one by one, maybe the big picture will not be so daunting. The name of this panel we're about to have is Policy, Palate, Plate, Innovation, Changing Tastes, Food Security. About the palate and the plate probably is why they invite me to the panel. But I'm very, very interested in really innovation. And if you think about it, policy. And to me, innovation is everything, because I'm a chef that likes to say that I'm very creative, unlike me, many of the chefs. And we feed the few, but we are very interested in feeding the many. And I'm very happy that lately more and more chefs are kind of taking a leadership role in knocking in the doors of senators and congressmen, or becoming leaders in the food talk about how we're going to feed this country and this world. So in innovation is use quick thoughts on the simple distribution. It's funny, like everybody says that this planet today really produces all the food we need to feed the planet. But maybe innovation is going to be helping distribution to make sure that we are able to create systems to deliver those foods that sometimes, while there, they don't seem to be reaching the people that really are in need. And this sometimes is not because I read it on a book or because we know it, because we see it on CNN. For me, it's very hard when I am, for example, in a farm in Spain, and when I visit the orange and clementine trees, they're full. And I'm asking the farmers, guys, why are we not picking this up? Well, because the price in the market doesn't make any sense. At the same time, I'm reading a newspaper of hundreds of thousands of people hungry somewhere in Africa. How are we able to make those kind of terrible mistakes as humanity, and what we can do to be solving them? Innovation on machinery, mechanization is very funny. Mechanics is going to be helping us produce more foods. But at the end, when you go to a farmer's market, you see hundreds of people working, people that work the land, and then they go on Sundays to sell the goodness of the earth. But when I see these big machines in the heart of Iowa, I'm happy, because I see we can produce a lot of food. But at the same time, when we have unemployment problems, especially in the third world, it's very funny to be thinking that how we're going to be solving the great opportunity that mechanization of our foods and food production, all the opportunities is giving us, but then also some problems that sometimes creates that we don't think about. I'd rather prefer have 100 farmers working and making the land productive sometimes than not having them unemployed and so creating further hunger issues. Innovation on GMOs. We are going to be talking today and see big panels on GMOs. Very interesting. If I was God and I had one finger to dictate the solutions that is going to help humanity to make sure it's not hungry, wow, if you are God, it's very hard to say GMOs no or GMOs yes. And right now, we know it's a big a big controversy where people are supporting it and people are not supporting it. Me, sometimes when I think that GMO is more than genetically modified organisms, that is more than corn or soybeans, one of the coolest thing right now probably is we know that those genetically modified organisms can be also fish, that they glow at night. And I love them. I will buy 10 of them to put in my home because what a cool thing. I will have Avatar in my house. But the only thing about it, if we need to feed 9 billion people by the year 2050, maybe we need GMOs. But at what cost? Is the tuna I'm about to eat going to be so blue that at night when I wake up, all my daughters are blue? I'm saying it as a joke, but I'm saying seriously. If I was God again, do I support GMOs because I have to feed the planet? Or, on the other hand, we have to have a bigger conversation exactly what are the opportunities, but also the repercussions on those decisions we will make. We cannot be against or in favor without having all the knowledge. And more we talk about that, better we all will be at the end. When we talk about innovation, we need to be talking about technology. I am the ambassador of the Alliance of Clean Cook Stoves, created by Hillary Clinton and led by the United Nations on an alliance called the Alliance of Clean Cook Stoves. It's very funny, but millions of people die every year because the smoke, the dirty cook stoves create. And it's not only the smoke they create, but we cut trees. And we cut trees that in some big way has a big impact in the way also, for example, farmers in Haiti can be growing their crops. When there's no trees, water comes down, takes away all the good soil that is supposed to be feeding Haitians. That soil goes to the sea. These guys have no land to plant and be productive and be on their own. All those things, innovation, we can keep talking more and more. But what we are going to have to be thinking is like the synergies between every one of those, from the machinery to the distribution, from the technology. We're going to have to be thinking how all of them work together. Because sometimes we only try to find solution, taking a look at each one alone. And at the end, we have to see that nothing in the world unites Earth like the food system, because food is very much everything we are. And then moving to innovation, I want to make quick thoughts about policy. The Farm Bill is in the air. Everyone knows it. We're going to have here one of the big experts, the Undersecretary. But food policy and the Farm Bill is going to be big, because since the Farm Bill is about big companies versus small companies, big farms versus small farms, big restaurant chains versus small restaurant chains. On the Farm Bill, we know something called subsidies. What are we doing? Why are we giving subsidies to some organizations, some companies, and not to others? Why my small farmer cannot get a carrot subsidized in the same way a big farmer gets a soybean? What I will say is no subsidies to anybody, or let's make sure that we level down the field so everyone will have the same opportunity. These is things we're going to have to be talking towards this Farm Bill and the future Farm Bills. But also, I'm a restaurateur. I serve the few, and it's companies that serve the many. I want to have 100,000 restaurant company. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm pro-capitalism. I want it. But I'm going to be sure I get there, making sure that I don't forget what I believe today. And so this is the big thing. When a big company is able to give you a burger so cheap that I wonder, I want to serve a burger for $1 or $2 and make money and pay my employees. I don't know how. And I go bed some nights saying, why they can do it and I cannot do it? When we see that sometimes directly and indirectly, those subsidies help some companies make money, that I'm only wondering, if you make money as a company, why are you receiving subsidies in the first place? Food for thought. I'm not against or in favor, but only we need to make sure that we put a very heavy thinking to understand that then that very cheap food we are producing somehow is creating obesity. Mexico, United States, number 1, number 2 countries with the highest rate of obesity in the world. In America, we see that every day more and more has a direct connection with the subsidies we give. We only have to start thinking about how are we using policy to achieve certain things and what's the ultimate goal. And I don't think sometimes we put enough creativity in achieving this. And just to end, when we think that also obesity will be great to have a general here talking about national security. Today, our army, the Pentagon, cannot fulfill all the needs they have in the army because Americans are our young Americans are so obese that we don't have enough young Americans ready to join the army. Huge issue, national security. Who is going to say that food, national security will be at the heart of it? And just to end, food security is everything at the end. If we provide the world with food security, if every individual in the streets of Washington, D.C., or in the outskirts of Port-au-Prince, Haiti, if we are able to bring food security to everybody, I believe that we are talking about making sure that we have close to 1 billion people in the food security zone, productive individuals. When everybody is talking about economic growth, when everybody is talking that this world, this planet, has to keep moving forward through economic growth, don't we think that the simple way to do it is putting all those people that are right now in the hunger zone out into safety, and that those almost 1 billion people will be the ones that will be helping us to keep moving this planet forward? Well, me, I would like to not be thinking about the world. I would like to start thinking about the city I live in. If we can be changing the neighborhoods with our individual actions, one at a time, making sure that we have no hungry people any longer, this will be an amazing way to be looking how innovation, how policy could be helping to make sure that America is a hunger-free country, and so maybe we can hope to make the world. Thank you very much.